फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स,
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट।
Hello everyone. Today we are up with a sad news. Indian cricket great and spin legend Bishan Singh Bedi is no more. He passed away at the age of 77. Well, we'll have more inputs in this from Network 18 Group Sports Editor K. Srinivas Rao.
Hi,
Srini,
Suramya. Uh,
Srini, it's a very
yeah,
tragic news and sad news for the cricket fraternity and, in fact, all the people who follow cricket. Are your thoughts on this?
yeah. Okay. This is obviously a very sad news. But it wasn't unexpected. So the respite, the small takeaway here is that his going was extremely peaceful, and that is a blessing in itself.
Yeah.
Who have we lost? Well, I think in what have we in the man who's passed away today, I think cricket has lost an entire generation.
Yes.
Suramya, they don't make them like him anymore. The
Yeah.
God stopped making people like Bishan Singh Bedi, a long time ago, and I don't even know where to start. Here is what I'll say. I remember elders who we used to kind of, meet, whether it was former cricketers, former journalists, journalists who had covered Indian cricket at a time when cricket was not such a big deal. This was pre 1983. I'm talking about,
Yeah.
and where again, it was not such a it was a popular sport, but there was no money. There was no people played it for the real love of the game, and
Yes.
few epitomized it, like Brady, or cricketers during his time. And we, as young men, wanting to, kind of track the sport, cover it, we had absolutely no idea what it meant, if not for the books that we read, and the former journalists who we had the great opportunity of interacting with, who would tell us stories after stories after stories. So on CNN News 18 just a while ago, I was listening to an Ayaz mem, talking about Bishan Singh Bedi, and the love with which he spoke about the man and what he brought to the game was an indicator of what kind of relation he shared across fraternities. So the
Yeah.
humor and everything. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, I'm just running in all directions to search for words, but this has been the passing away of a true legend. Um,
Yeah.
in every sense, I don't think of anyone who has so openly spoken about the game and every single attribute that concerns the game and the well-being of it.
Yeah.
Whether it is administration, whether, yeah, of course, you can put his stats and he was an armada when it came to left arm spin. And
Yes.
that we all know the bowler that he was. We have read and heard and seen, and we are, but the personality that he went on to become, apropos playing the game, that speaks volumes of the kind of man that he had gone on to become. I'll share a small anecdote with you.
Okay.
I was doing a story. I was very young. And I was doing a story on the Dusra. And I really wanted to understand what exactly did good established spinners think of the Dusra. So I remember calling him one evening. It was a Saturday, and I said, "Sir, what is your opinion of the Dusra?" He's like, "My friend, are you married?" I said, "No, sir, I'm not." He said,
Yeah.
sorry, I thought I lost you. So he said, I said, "Are you married?" I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "My son, uh, the other man in a woman's life is a dusra. The other woman in a man's life is a dusri. So basically, a dusra is immoral, illegal, unethical." That is what a dusra is. So
Uh-huh.
I was like, so I told him, I said, sir, can I quote you on this? He said, of course you can quote me. But what are you doing on a Saturday evening talking cricket? Don't you have a girlfriend? Go out, have fun. We'll talk cricket another day. So he was
Yeah.
like that. He saw fun and the lighter side and everything. And yet when he spoke sense. And the best part is, it doesn't matter how young you were, or whether you were just about starting your career. He would always treat you as an equal. He used to
Yes.
always treat you respectfully. And that in itself, speaks volumes of who he was. And well, I can
Yes.
go on and on and on. But to hear
Yeah.
those words on the phone when you would call him in the evening, and those words on the phone, yes, my friend, tell me, how have you been? And well, that would be the
Well,
beginning
it
of every
actually
conversation.
speaks. Yes, and it actually speaks about what kind of a person he was, and he will always be remembered in that sense only. Shani, I would also like to tell that I was quite fortunate to meet him in an event this year in March, and he was as lively as he was ever, even after a brief period of illness that he was going through earlier this year and the last year as well. He wasn't able to walk properly, but he was so lively, and he was just giving his blessing to each and every person there. And today, when he is no more, it just feels that people will remember his legacy, the way he created a revolution in spin bowling. Today, these youngsters, the current cricketers, and the ones who will come and follow this game, they will remember him for years. Srini, I just want to know from you that it's always been said that Bishan Singh Bedi was a person who always used to keep his ideas and his opinions first on the table. Whether it was about one match between India and Pakistan, where he said the opposition team is just coming up with all the bouncers, and let's not play this in this fashion, or be it about a case where Bishan Singh Bedi came up with the idea of playing good cricket and coming up with such kind of ideologies and opinions, where he wanted this sport to be in its real essence and not be cut short into new formats. What do you have to say about a person like that?
I think that is exactly what made him so special. That he never flinched speaking his mind. The one thing that made Vishampa so special was that you wanted an answer, you would get an answer. Eventually, he would get an answer, give you an answer so clear and so bold that you would shy away from either listening to it or saying, "Okay, what do I do with this now?" You needed to have the guts to hear his answer out and then do something about it. He was never the man to flinch away. Whatever your question, he would give you an opinion. He would never run away from it. It was up to you and what kind of a stomach did you have to digest what he said. In that lied your challenge. So,
Yeah.
those that's special, Suramya. That's very special. They don't make people like him anymore.
Yes.
It's yeah. I remember, very recently I had retweeted it actually. A very, very old journalist had actually shared a video of Bishan Singh Bedi's left arm spin, a match, a small clip of a match where he's bowling. The run up, the arm that goes up, the beauty with which the arm rolls, and just about kind of falling on the line of the middle stump and missing the right hander's bat. And Bishan Singh Bedi's, that follow through after the ball, that standing, those years is class. You look at
Yeah.
that cricket, you can, yeah, if I unfortunately, if you look at the loop, you will just the clip, you will just keep on watching it on
Yeah.
loop. You will not feel like kind of stopping it. There you go. There you go. I mean, you watch a clip of this and you will keep on watching it on the loop. There was a certain sense of uh, just unreal beauty about the sight, and well, that was so special. And of course, then whatever else he went on to become.
Yes. Well, you have shared beautiful memories and you have shared some beautiful incidents. We also have Sahil Malhotra with us, who is currently in Dharamshala. Sahil, it's a earlier, because he was there in Delhi and he has done a lot of work there in Delhi for the young cricketers out there in Delhi. What do you have to say about him?
I think not just young cricketers, no, the way that guy, my still first memory of him was I was sitting covering a Ranji Trophy game at then Firosha Kotla Stadium. I was sitting there, a lot of old journalists were there, but he saw a young boy sitting there and he came and asked me, Ranji Trophy cover करने आए हो? मैं कहा हाँ जी पाजी. So the way he kind of put his hand around my shoulder and the way he was talking cricket, and it was I can't say anything. It was just the kind of knowledge you would gain by just talking to him, the experiences he used to share, how he used to go out of the way to help young cricketers. I still remember a story of Saurabh Kumar, UP left arm spinner, who went on to play for India A. India का net bowler भी था अभी. So he was actually unearthed by Bishan Singh Bedi, and Bishan Singh Bedi helped him financially also. So when I was working back then with the Indian Express, I called him Bishan sir and I said, sir, आपने उसका बहुत help करा है. I want to take some quotes from you on him. He said, यार ये मत लिखना कि मैंने उसका हेल्प करा है, वरना उसको खिलाएंगे नहीं, क्योंकि मेरी सबसे लड़ाई चलती रहती है, तो उसको खिलाएंगे नहीं. Let the boy do what he is doing because he has been doing so well for himself. So let me be behind the scenes. And I think all his life he was fighting for the right with the DDCA. जो भी वहाँ पे हो रहा था सिलेक्शन को लेके, एज फ्रॉड को लेके, जब वो जम्मू कश्मीर गए वहाँ पे भी उन्होंने जाकर सिस्टम को ठीक करा. ही काइंड ऑफ इनकलकेटेड दैट मैच विनिंग स्पिरिट जो he had right through his playing days. For Bishan Singh Bedi, I think the biggest takeaway for me was how he changed cricket power circle from Bombay to Delhi. There was a time Mumbai was dominating Ranji Trophy, winning tournament after tournament. उन्होंने एक टीम खड़ा करा, चेतन चौहान को वो दिल्ली लेकर आए, और जिस तरीके से उन्होंने एक मैच विनिंग टीम बनाई, कीर्ति आजाद को जो उन्होंने ऑलराउंडर बनाया. यू जस्ट कीप नेमिंग प्लेयर्स यार, मतलब विनय लांबा, हरी गिडवानी, आप इन सब प्लेयर से बात करोगे, वो बिशन पाजी के बारे में बात करते थकेंगे नहीं, क्योंकि उन सबकी जिंदगी के अंदर गुरशरण सिंह, वो पंजाब से खेल रहे थे, फिर वो दिल्ली आए, फिर वो पंजाब गए, उनकी लाइफ में उनका कितना बड़ा रोल रहा था. एंड ऑल दीज क्रिकेटर्स, आई बीन इन टच विद देम सिंस द लास्ट 2-3 months नाउ, एवर सिंस बेदी सर काइंड ऑफ हैड दैट dodgy health issues. So everyone used to go and visit him. सब उनसे जाकर मिलते थे. They used to spend a weekend with him at his farm house. अलग अलग प्लेयर्स आते थे. करंट प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ डीडीसीए रोहन जेटली ऑल्सो विजिटेड हिम, और अभी स्टैंड भी है उनके नाम पर डीडीसीए के अंदर. तो आई डोंट नो, मतलब इट्स अ बिग लॉस टू क्रिकेट फ्रेटर्निटी. आई थिंक वन ऑफ द स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट वॉइसेस वी हैव एवर हर्ड, and Bishan Paji was one such voice, very forthright, very forthcoming. He didn't hold back his punches. He used to call a spade, and I think that's the biggest loss. And right now, I think the only Indian captain who kind of showed कि कैसे you have to take people head on, and the kind of respect he enjoyed not just in India but abroad. If you go abroad, if you talk to people, they'll just go on and on about Bishan Singh Bedi, and that's the kind of personality he was. That's the kind of character he was. It was his kind of unfulfilled dream that his son didn't go on to play cricket for India. Yes, he did play Ranji. He did play age group cricket. Angad did play age group cricket for Delhi, but he just couldn't go beyond that. But even then, no. When his son chose an acting career, he was right behind him. And right now, he had 2 grandsons for company during his last stages. Angad has 2 kids. So Angad used to go and visit him over weekends at the farmhouse, which is famously called Cricket Abode. And it's a beautiful farmhouse, old world charm, big lawn in front. So वहाँ पे वो अभी भी he would throw deliveries to his grandsons, grandchildren. So again, a lot of memories with that man. And I have countless interactions with him in the press box, outside the press box, over phone. Before a Ranji Trophy season would start, it would end. He would follow cricket like anything. I remember when I was at the Express, he would especially call the editor when he saw one full page given to Ranji Trophy in the Indian Express. So that's the kind of love he had for the game and domestic cricket. And I'm sure it's going to be a big loss for everyone. And I hope everyone remembers the great man he was, the Sardar he was, the great grand Sardar he was. He will always be remembered for that. And interestingly, my first book which I read, it was on Bishan Singh Bedi, written by Suresh Menon, if I'm not wrong, Portrait of a Cricketer. It was an autobiography which was co-authored by Suresh Menon. What a beautiful book which gives you insight into the man Bishan Singh Bedi was, the rebel he was. Many people say that he was a rebel without a cause. No, he wasn't a rebel without a cause. His cause was always right up there. He wanted the betterment for cricket, cricketers, young cricketers especially. उनको एज फ्रॉड से सख्त नफरत था यार. एक दिल्ली और जम्मू कश्मीर का मैच हो रहा था अंडर 14 का. वो मैच देखने गए. उन्होंने जब देखा दिल्ली के लड़के अंडर 14 के छक्के मार रहे हैं, तो उन्होंने कहा ये पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. अंडर 14 क्रिकेटर्स कांट क्लियर द रोप्स. एज टेस्ट कराओ, एज टेस्ट कराया तो आधी टीम ओवर एज निकली. So that's the kind of person he was. मतलब, I
Yeah.
can go on and on about him. I can go on and on about him, and it's a big loss. It's a big loss.
And I believe, Sahil, these are the stories that relate each and every person out there, and they find themselves somewhere or the other relatable to Bishan Singh Bedi, because you'll go on internet, you'll find n number of pieces, with the stats that he played 67 tests, he took some 266 wickets. These are just stats that you will find everywhere. What is more important is to find stories that you have shared. These are the stories that make a man, and I believe each and every person out there who is reading this tragic news right now must be looking forward to such kind of stories, some different stories, and must also be remembering their personal stories. Abhi Srini
You
aaye
know,
the, Srini bata rahe the
Surama,
कि किस
Surama,
तरह
if you
से.
like, if you hear about this, if I just close my eyes right now, those moments come right flashing in front of me. Every one person who has followed cricket, has covered cricket, ever wanted to be a cricketer, always will have a Bishan Singh Bedi story. There is no one
Yeah,
in Delhi, in India, in and around the world. He was he was that portrait of a left arm spinner which every spinner wants to be. Clean
yeah,
action, no jerk, no bend of the elbow. जितना मर्जी आप biomechanics पकड़ लो, उनके action में आप इतना सा भी कमी नहीं निकाल सकते.
yeah,
And the way he used to set up batsmen, I've like spoken to a lot of former cricketers in the past who have played against him, with him, and they would say that Bishan ka chalaki pitch pe nahi tha, what he used to do in the air. So he was master of guile and deception. And again, you can't get a cricketer bigger than them, a name bigger than him, and that's who he was. The legendary cricketer who never held back his punches. That's who he was.
and he will always be remembered like that only. I was just sharing this thought with you, right? That how Srini was also saying that he never flinched away from, keeping his mind open out there in public, and always standing by the side of cricket, the right cricket that people should play in this country.
Yeah.
Well, it was great talking to you, Sahil.
Thank you
It's the
so much.
tragic news today, but good to hear all these stories, and he will be remembered for the person he was, the great
Absolutely. Absolutely.
spin legend. Thank you so much, Sahil, for
Thank you,
joining us.
Surama. Thank you.
फास्टेस्ट क्रिकेट स्कोर अपडेट्स या सबसे डिटेल्ड स्टैट्स
क्रिकेट के अंदर बाहर की खबरें,
या हेल्दी डिबेट्स
सबसे एक्यूरेट एनालिसिस,
या फैंस का क्रेज, सबके लिए एक ही प्लेटफॉर्म, क्योंकि क्रिकेट मतलब क्रिकेट नेक्स्ट.